I don't know how well that shows, but it is raining hard. It's been a dark, overcast, kind of cold, wet, rainy day all day. And I've decided to camp overnight in the cabin. I have the fire going, really enjoying the warmth, and I'm about to prepare my dinner. So I'll keep you with me and we'll do a short video here. Well, have you noticed how everything I cook tends to have onions in it? My own onions, as I keep saying. I do like onions. What I'm going to have for dinner this evening is a Spanish dish called Tortilla Espanol. Spanish tortilla. And if you're thinking about the South American and Central American tortilla made from either flour or from corn, this is not that. This is made with onions and potato and eggs and olive oil. I don't know, I guess I first had it somewhere in Spain, but I walked the Camino Frances across northern Spain and had it several times. They serve it in a sandwich, among many other ways, but a sandwich what they call a bocadilla, like a baguette with a slice of this tortilla in between the two pieces of bread. My problem was trying to get them to give me some mayonnaise, because in Spain a sandwich is just bread with something in between it. They don't butter, they don't use mayonnaise, nothing like that. Threw the potato peels in the stove, if you wonder where I went. It sort of gets recycled into my garden. Well, it's not as compost, but I use the ashes. I've saved all the ashes from last winter, and they'll soon be going in the area where I plant beets. I don't know why. One of the packages of beet seeds that I bought a few years ago, first year I had any success growing beets, said that wood ash was a good thing to add to the place where you're going to plant beets. It worked, so I've done it ever since. Whoops, I have flying onions. Now, you start with raw potato, and you can use, just fresh potato peeled and diced. I cheat. These are those frozen potatoes for hash browns. I don't think that they are actually cooked at all. They might have, they might have started cooking them, but they're pretty much like a raw potato. So I eliminate the step where I have to do all that peeling and chopping, and I buy the least expensive. This one is called Co-op Gold. It's the in-store brand name for co-op stores in Canada. I'll get the frying pan heated up and take you with me over to the wood stove. And I find it hard to tell when the stove is hot enough, but I put one little piece of onion in there and I can hear it starting to sizzle, so yeah, camera's probably not picking that up, but there is the sound of onions starting to cook. Onions are cooking nicely. So I'm with potato.
Like a bomb from Quebec sovereignty, like former Bloc MP Danielle Turk. I myself have a great deal of respect for the good people. I'm sure a lot of people share that respect and will vote for him and for the rest of France. Turk now works for Pierre Calder, leader of the provincial parti Québécois. He says Canada and USEP will work well together to make Quebec a country. But USEP will have a lot of rebuilding to do. So you're the man he will work.
Add a little pepper and salt to it, I guess. So, let that cook down for a while before I add the eggs. Well, I guess it's been probably 10 minutes or so. The potatoes are basically cooked, starting to get a little browner. They'll continue to cook with the egg. That's 3 eggs. One on the stove there. I just dribbled it off the fork all over the stove. First accident on my stove. The tricky part comes in a minute when I have to try to turn that over. I have done this several times with varying degrees of success, but I have never done it with the camera rolling before. The idea is to put a plate over big enough to cover the... I don't like that plate. I'll try a different one. There's more of a lip that holds onto the pan. I don't know if I'll be able to get the tortilla out of it. Step 1 anyway. Now the idea is to get that back into the frying pan without breaking it up. I don't think that's going to happen. That's a knife here. Not exactly. Clean dish in the cabin by the time I finish. Well, it's been another, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes or so. I think it's probably done. Time to throw it on the floor, probably. No, that's not too bad. I will bring you over to the table. Well, I guess you can see me with only part of my head cut off. I'm monitoring on the iPad here, but it came out not looking too badly. See if I can get it. I really enjoy the thing. It's something a little bit different, and you would never think that a sandwich with potato and eggs and onion and olive oil and whatever would be good, but it's delicious. I really enjoyed the tortilla espanol sandwiches whenever I had a chance to get one. A spatula with me, so do it with this knife, I guess. I don't use very much salt, so salt and pepper. In my opinion, very good. If you've never had tortilla espanol, as you can see, it's relatively simple except for the juggling act when you have to try to turn it over in the pan. It partially fell apart when I did that, but seemed to heal up with the egg cooking on the part that had fallen apart, so you can hardly tell. Anyway, I'm going to spend the night out here. Plans to read and maybe play Mahjong or something on the iPad, and I won't bring you back again probably until breakfast in the morning. I'm hoping that that stove has enough heat that I can perk coffee on it for breakfast. So that'll be the next test with the stove. I'll see you in the morning. Well, I hope you can see that. Good morning, everybody. The percolator works on the stove, and it smells really good. Fresh coffee first thing in the morning. Noise you can probably hear in the background is my toaster, though. I have to use the Coleman stove to make toast. It would never be hot enough on the wood stove. This little toaster thing won't even work on the gas range at the house, it has to be, heat from the Coleman is that much hotter. It has to be on that in order to get the toast nice and brown. Breakfast is just coffee, toast with peanut butter, and I think this is this is my last bottle of last year's homemade blueberry jam. First time I stayed overnight here with the new stove. Of course, this is summertime. I didn't really need a lot of heat during the night, but it was very easy to keep the stove going. You can shut the draft down completely until it just smolders, and with a small amount of bio bricks in there, it burnt for 3 or 4 hours before I had to add anything new. So I think that's going to be a great improvement in regulating the temperature and keeping the stove going. And as I guess I showed you a few minutes ago, it really perked the coffee in almost no time at all. So you can use the cooktop on it. It is really usable. Well, thank you very much for watching. I think that will finish this little night in the cabin here.